Hey guys, welcome to Simply Swim. The Rio Paralympic Games are just around the corner, so we thought, hey, why not do another swim schedule video? Now, for the individual days, if you click on the comments or the description below, you can click on certain days, and just to let you know, the heats and the finals are on both days. Anyway, let's jump straight into it. September the 8th. Let's take a look at the men's categories. You have the 100 metre backstroke, which has classes of S6, S7 and S14. 400 metre freestyle, which is S8. The 100 metre breaststroke, which is SB9 class. The 100 metre freestyle, which is an S4 class. The 100 metre butterfly, which is an S13. The 200 metre freestyle, which is an S5. Let's jump into the women's selection of the day. You have the 100 metre backstroke, which is an S6, S7 and S14 class. The 400 metre freestyle, which is S8. The 100 metre breaststroke, which is an SB9. The 100 metre freestyle, which is an S3. The 100 metre butterfly, which is an S13. And the 200 metre freestyle, which is an S5. September the 9th. Let's take a look at the men's categories first. You have the 100 metre backstroke, which is S1, S2 and S11. You have the 50 metre freestyle, which is an S7 and an S10 class. The 50 metre butterfly, which is an S6. 400 metre freestyle, which is an S9. And the 100 metre butterfly, which is an S8. Let's take a look at the women's schedule for the day. You have the 100 metre backstroke, which is S2 and S11 class. You have the 50 metre freestyle, which is S7 and S10. You have the 50 metre butterfly, which is an S6. The 400 metre freestyle, which is an S9. And the 100 metre butterfly, which is an S8. On this day, you also have a 4x50 freestyle relay, which is worth 20 points. September 10th. The men's categories are as follows. The 100 metre breaststroke, which is SB7 class. The 50 metre freestyle, which is S6. The 50 metre butterfly, which is an S5. 50 metre backstroke, which is S3. The 200 metre IM SM13. The 100 metre backstroke, S10, and the 400 metre freestyle, S11. Let's take a look at the women's categories for the day. The 100 metre breaststroke, SB7. The 50 metre freestyle, S6. The 50 metre butterfly, S5. The 50 metre backstroke, S3. The 200 metre IM SM13. 100 metre backstroke, which is a class S10. And the 400 metre freestyle, which is S11. Let's take a look at September the 11th. The men's categories are the 100 metre breaststroke, which is SB4, SB5 and SB13. We have the 200 metre IM in SM9 and SM10. The 200 metre freestyle, which is S14. The 100 metre freestyle, which is S8. The 100 metre breaststroke, which is SB4. The 200 metre freestyle, which is an S2. Now for the women's categories on that day, the 100 metre breaststroke, which is SB4, SB5 and SB13. The 200 metre IM, which is an SM9 and an SM10. The 200 metre freestyle, which is an S14. And the 100 metre breaststroke, which is an SB4. September the 12th. The men's categories are as follows. The 400 metre freestyle for S13, the 150 metre IM SM4, the 50 metre freestyle in S5 and S11, the 100 metre butterfly in S10, 100 metre freestyle in S9, 200 metre IM in SM6, and the 50 metre butterfly in S7. Let's take a look at the women's categories for the day. The 400 metre freestyle, S13, the 100 metre IM for SM4, the 50 metre freestyle for S5 and S11, 100 metre butterfly for S10, 100 metre freestyle for S9, the 200 metre IM for SM6, and finally the 50 metre butterfly for S7. September the 13th. Let's take a look at the men's categories first. So first up you have the 400 metre freestyle, which is S6, the 200 metre IM SM7, 100 metre freestyle for S10, the 100 metre breaststroke for SB11 and SM12, 100 metre backstroke for S8, 50 metre freestyle for S3 and S9, and finally the 200 metre freestyle for S4. Let's take a look at the women's categories for the day. You have the 400 metre freestyle for S6, the 200 metre IM for SM7, the 100 metre freestyle for S10, 100 metre breaststroke for SB11, 100 meter backstroke for S8, and the 50 meter freestyle for S9. September the 14th. Let's take a look at the men's categories first. The 100 meter breaststroke for SB8 and SB14, the 400 meter freestyle for S7, the 100 meter backstroke for S12, the 100 meter butterfly for S11, the 50 meter breaststroke for SB2 and SB3, the 50 meter freestyle S13. You have the 4x100 freestyle relay, which is worth 34 points. Let's take a look at the women's categories for the day. You have the 100 meter breaststroke, which is SB8 and SB14. You have the 100 meter freestyle, which is an S7, the 100 meter backstroke, which is an S12, the 50 meter backstroke, which is an SB3, and the 50 meter freestyle, which is an S13. September 15th. Let's take a look at the men's categories first. You have the 100 meter butterfly, which is an S9. You have the 100 meter breaststroke, which is an SB6. You have the 400 meter freestyle, which is an S10. You have the 200 meter freestyle, which is an S3. You have the 100 meter freestyle, which is an S11. And you have a 50 meter backstroke, which is an S1 and an S2. Let's take a look at the women's categories for the day. You have the 100 meter butterfly, which is an S9. You have a 100 meter breaststroke, which is an SM6. You have a 400 meter freestyle, which is an S10. You have the 200 meter IM, which is an SM5. You have a 100 meter freestyle, which is an S11. And you have the 50 meter backstroke, which is an S2. You also have the 4x100 freestyle relay, which is worth 34 points. September the 16th. Let's take a look at the men's categories first. You have the 100 meter freestyle, which is an S7 and an S13. You have the 100 meter backstroke, which is an S9. You have a 50 meter freestyle, which is an S8. You have a 50 meter backstroke, which is an S4 and also an S5. You have the 200 meter IM SM11. And the 150 IM, which is an SM3. Let's take a look at the women's categories for that day. You have the 100 meter freestyle, which is an S7 and an S13. You have the 100 meter backstroke, which is an S9. The 50 meter freestyle, which is an S8. The 50 meter backstroke, which is an S4 and an S5. The 200 meter IM, which is an SM11. You have the 4x100 medley relay, which is worth 34 points. September 17th. Let's take a look at the men's categories first. You have the men's 100 freestyle, which is an S5 and an S6. You have the 200 meter MI, which is an SM8 and an SM14. You have the 50 meter freestyle, which is an S4 and an S12. You have the 100 meter backstroke, which is an S13. And you have the 4x100 meter medley relay, which is worth 34 points. And lastly, let's take a look at the women's categories for the day. You have the 100 meter freestyle, S5 and S6. You have the 200 meter IM at SM8 and SM14. You have the 50 meter freestyle at S4 and S12. And lastly, you have the 100 meter backstroke, which is an S13. So there we have it, guys. That's the swimming schedule for the Rio Paralympics. Are you looking forward to the games? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.